September was a crazy month for us. I'm going to share with you in this video how we ran some experiments and we put on 100 new members in September, the same way that we teach our clients on how to sign 100 new members. I'm trying this, YouTube thing, and so building in public on YouTube, I want to share everything with you, okay? I want to share the experiments we ran, the exact things that we tried, what didn't really work, and then end up showing you the results and the lessons along the way. So definitely grab a pen and follow along. Nobody shares this stuff. Every month for the last 4 months, we've hit record sales each month. And we've turned those sales into full-time members, which stacks our MRR, or the recurring revenue. To be honest, it's ridiculous. I'm also still surprised. The thing is, we didn't get better at coaching, which is the actual product that we do. We didn't even get better at sales. What we got better at was learning how to play the content to sales game, okay? That's the stuff that I want to teach you, which I want to do right now. In September, we put on a new studio every 1.6 hours, which I love because ever since the heart attack, I just want to make as much impact as I can out there in the world. So every 1.6 hours, a new studio joins Geronimo. The same way that we teach our clients on how to sign a sale a day as well, or faster. So I'm going to show you exactly how we did it, pop the hood, show you around, everything. So you can steal it and you can grow your business as well. All right, so let me take you through the September experiment that we ran that put on 100 new clients, the same way that our studios put on 100 new members. So the first thing we worked on was the plan. So we've got this one-page plan. It's the same plan that we've been giving our clients. It looks like this. Essentially, there's three main components when we think about growing our business. We want to grab attention, we want to convert that attention, and we want to turn those conversions into, recurring revenue, which is, that's the delivery side of the business, or retention, okay? We've got this one-page plan that we've taught to our clients and we work with our clients on. And what you'll see is part of that plan is things that we do every day, things that we do every week, and things that we do every month, okay? Now, the things that we do every day is we work on what we call the bingeable content system. In terms of the bingeable content system, that's the thing that we really focused on throughout the month of September and the previous 3 months that resulted in the record sales each month. We also worked on our ads, okay? And then the other thing that we worked on as well was running a workshop. What happened is that's the plan that we had. Okay, so we know that every single day we are focused on how do we think about generating attention in the marketplace, because right now it's all about the 7-11-4 rule, okay? So it takes 7 hours of content across 11 touch points and 4 different channels for someone to go from cold to sold. So when we think about how we're growing Geronimo right now, the same way that we teach our clients on how to grow their businesses, bricks and mortar, like yoga, fucking Pilates, pole dancing, functional, it's the same way. They're thinking about how they're generating attention right now in the market with short form and long form and ad form, which I'll get to in a second. And then how do we convert that, which is the other engine, okay? So it's the attention engine and the conversion engine together. The plan that worked so well for us and has been working across this last 4 months has been this model right here. It's how do we get attention, and then how do we convert that attention? So that's the plan. How that actually looked was it was a big focus on content. The biggest thing that's working right now for a lot of our studios is not just focusing on running better sessions. We haven't grown to this level that we're at right now, which is 10x where we were this time last year. We didn't grow because we got better at running our sessions. And I want you to think about that when it comes to your business. And for the clients that we work with in Geronimo, they're not growing. Like a lot of them have gone from 30K a month to 70K a month to 85K a month, or they've gone from 150 members to 250 to 350 members. Their sessions are the same. Their community didn't create that result. And that certainly didn't happen from word of mouth. It happened largely because they started to focus on content, and then how we amplify that content, and then how we convert that content. It's also what's helping with ads at the moment for their studios. So same thing as us. So when I think about content, there's really 3 types of content that we've been really focused on at the moment. The first one is short form, right? So This is where like we've gone to posting 2 times a day. Like we went from 1 a day to 3 times a day to 2 a day right now. So that's what we're focused on right now. And we're almost doing these like little content sprints to get to the point where we're posting twice a day. Now, the only thing that I will shift in terms of what has helped us is the focus on followers, not views. The shift that I want you guys to make is when you think about how to grow your businesses is when you go and have a look at your content, which I'll screen record this right now and we'll overlay it. I'll screen record and I'll overlay. What I want you to get focused on and used to is going into your Instagram, looking at your professional dashboard. You're going into content you shared, and we're looking at the last, the last 3 months, sort by highest follows, and you'll see these little numbers on it: 13, 28, 74, 68, 53, 37, 31, 30, 22. These are all the bits of content that have generated the most amount of followers from that exact reel. So from this, you can start to see, well, A, are you getting followers from any of your reels? If you're not posting the right type of content. So that's where we started. And then we just kept pulling that same report and just kept focusing on identifying what the formats are. So formats, what the formats are that seem to generate the most amount of followers. And when you see the squiggly line, that's because we then put some money behind the winners. Okay, which is how we amplify. That's how we amplify your content. So look, 1328 for this like Range Rover video, and that's like there's some technical things that went on in that video where we mentioned Range Rover, we mentioned Suzuki Jimny, and we knew that would do some things and send that reel into some automotive circles in the algorithm. It generated also a bit of a polarizing view in the comments, which boosted the algorithm to tell people that people are interested in this particular post. What happened was, like my Instagram grew in September by twice of what we're seeing there that post generated. Why? Because people got to the page, they might not have hit follow from that particular piece of content, but then they saw everything else on that page, saw my bio and what like I was about in terms of the mission, and then they chose to hit follow. Obviously that second post is from a podcast, but it wasn't just any podcast, because typically our podcast reels don't get the best follows, but that particular reel was an emotive story of Indy, in tears about things that I know the Pilates industry think about a lot. Okay, so we kind of went down to the unspoken truth part. This third one was the carousel. There's a mystery shop, which we know is a known format. There's the polarizing fuck everyone view in terms of like the dumb shit that I don't delegate or whatever it was. And then like more carousel. So what we can see is like we've started to identify the different types of formats that are generating the most follows, and then we rinse and repeat. Okay, remember, off the back of every follow, I'll explain how we turn that into cash in a second. So that's the short form. The long form piece of content, right? Now, obviously we know we've been doing podcasts. I think we're like 150 episodes deep. Going back to that 7-11-4 rule, you're gonna find it pretty hard to rack up 7 hours of content by just posting 1-minute reels. That's 7 times 60 is a lot of reels. So long form for us, the podcast, they're 40 to hour long episodes. What we want people to do is we want them to binge the podcast. When they binge the podcast, bingers become buyers. So that definitely worked through the month of September and August and July. And like it's generally like our podcast is our number one revenue generator, not from sponsorships. We release 4 of these a month. And despite the arguments that I have with my podcast producer, they want me to create podcast episodes to go viral and talking about viral topics. But the feedback that I get from my audience is that they actually want to hear about topics that are more helpful than topical. So we've like leaned into, episode choice has come from objections from our sales team and also objections from our coaching team. Meaning, like, what are our clients struggling with at the moment, or what are they objecting to at the moment? We turn them into podcast episodes. From our sales team, when we talk to them about like what are the main objections that you get at the moment? What are the main themes that you get at the moment? Then we turn them into episodes so that, let's think about this, so that if our potential clients and prospects binge our podcast, they're almost becoming pre-sold before they get to us. That's why, like long form, when you use long form in a different way than just trying to go viral from having good chats and helpful, you can also create a healthy sales pipeline, which is a big reason on how we got to 100 new clients in September, okay? The same way that we teach our clients on how to sign 100 new members. So there's short form, there's long form, and there's a third form that almost no one talks about, is ad form. A year ago, we used to spend about $8,000 a month on ads. Now we spend $100,000 a month on ads. That's not a flex, it's just to kind of like get your head around the perspective of how we scale the front end. Now, the only way that you are able to scale the ad spend is by feeding the monster creative. So every single week, we have a block in our calendar where we meet up with our paid team, our paid ads team, for 60 minutes to talk about the creative that's working well right now and to provide, our media team a shot list for new creative to film. So we keep refreshing the creative every 2 weeks. That reduces the fatigue. Now, internally, the experiment was, could we get past 30 grand? Remember, we're at 8 grand a month. Then the test became like, could we get to 20 grand a month? So we started to turn that up a little bit. And what happened was effectively 20 grand achieved 20 sales. So we're like, all right, let's crank it to 30. And the team were like, I don't think we can get to 30. There's not many gyms. It's like, I think we can. Let's try it. Crank to 30. $30,000 a month, 30 sales a month. Then it's like, all right, what would we need to do to generate 100 sales a month? Well, obviously, like if we took it linearly, like we'd need to spend 100 grand. The question became, like, how do we make sure that the ads don't fatigue? The answer is creative. Talk about lessons over here. I'm going to start adding lessons over here. The biggest lessons are the creative is the variable to scaling, right? If you can scale your creative efforts, if you can generate more creative, if you can like hard code that into the month, then you can feed this hungry machine that is like ads and ad spend and to get them into your world. There's not a day that will go by now where, I don't get into a lift at the gym and someone goes, hey, I noticed you. This morning I went for a bike ride. I went to the cafe to get my, pit stop, short black. And the guy that gave it to me goes, mate, you're all over my Instagram. And then at the Sydney event that we held last month, we did a workout on the second morning and a guy came up to me in the middle of a gym in the middle of Sydney CBD and said, I know you, you're Dozer. And he goes, I get my business advice from 2 people. He was a PT. He goes, I get my business advice from 2 people, 50 Cent and you. Best quote ever. Because of content. Content. So we really focus on short form, long form, and ad form. Twice a week, twice a month, 60-minute blocks to create more creative, okay? So all of these things to say, like the plan, the content. So we had the plan, then we focused on content, which generated demand. Remember, I need you guys to understand, we didn't scale to be able to do 100 new clients because we focused on word of mouth or getting better at our sessions. It's the same thing with our clients. Our clients do the same thing. They follow the same plan. They focus on content in the same way. They focus on short form. Some of them have got some long form stuff, and they're always doing creative ad refreshes, okay? Focused on the way that I showed you guys on how to check your followers and how to understand what your most influential formats are through the whole kind of principle of the 7-11-4, okay? Now, eventually what happens is when you follow the plan and you do the content, if you've done that properly, you're gonna generate demand. Now, what does demand look like? In our world, demand looks like it's either a follow or you get a lead. In our world, in September, we got 1,700 of those, 1,700 leads, and we went up by about 2,000 followers. Now, where did they all come from? So the main sources were either ads direct So we were running book a call ads where people just watched our videos and they booked straight into our diary and they spoke to our sales team. That was a channel. The second thing was the demand came from opening chats with all the followers. Okay, so we've got a rule: we open 100% of chats with 100% of opens. The third thing was we email. We email like 3 to 4 times a week. If you're on our list, you're receiving our emails as well. If I asked you the question, how many emails do you send your list? And I'm talking about nurture emails, not the emails where you're trying to sell them something. How many emails would you send a week? Is it 0? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Most times when I ask studios or other business owners, it's a big fat fucking donut. When you are not sending any emails to your list, and you think about the fact that most people get 95 emails a day, you times that by 30 days, that's almost, what is that? That's almost 3,000 emails. If you're only sending 1 email a month with your bloody newsletter, you don't exist. You don't exist. Okay? So we have a system where we teach our studios on how to send, 1 to 3 nurture emails a week, so that there's like a soft CTA at the bottom, and then every week they do like mini launches of a new product or something new that they want to sell. But it's storytelling in your email. So like we send about 3 to 4 emails a week. And between emails and number 4, content CTA, which is basically, we'll post a reel and it's like comment this or whatever it is. Between those two things, that generates 500 leads a month. Completely organically, pretty much for free. So for people that follow, we open chats using our sell by chat script. Again, our script is the same script we give our members to follow in their accounts. When our members follow the sell by chat framework, they sign a sale a day from people via chat. Okay? That's on top of the sale a day that they're creating from this first one, like the leads and the ads direct when they're running our paid ads strategy. We either get a follow or we get a lead. That's how we generate the demand. Now I'll tell you the secret to how we make sure that you turn the demand into dollars, and that is speed to lead. I'm just going to be really tactical with you guys right now, because again, no one shares this. I want to just give everything, okay? It's the power of the number 5. This is what we teach our studios, right? You're either opening 5 chats a day, minimum, right? When you're going by, 100, like net 100 followers a week, obviously it's got to be more than 5 a day. And when you get a lead, you've got to call them within 5 minutes, all right? That's the 5. At least 5 of those, and call within 5 minutes. The central premise that you've heard me whinge about is be easy to buy from. Our most successful studios, when I call them and I do the mystery shops, they actually pick up the phone. And when they do pick up the phone, they actually follow the fucking script. Professionals pick up the phone and professionals follow the script. When we have like an hour block to film as many mystery shops as we can, I'll need to call 5 different studios to actually get one that picks up. And surprise, surprise, when we correlate that one person that picks up and follows the fucking script with the numbers, as in the financials that we get from these guys every single month, who do you think is the studio that's growing faster than all the rest? It's pretty simple, right? I dare you to call the Geronimo hotline. I dare a lead to drop in or someone to hit follow on us. Like, you are going to get, there's 6 or 7 people in our sales team. You are going to get someone, and we often get compliments every single week from people who sign up to Geronimo, who join Geronimo just because of our sales process. And they think, fuck it, hell, like I've seen how we should be doing this. So I want to learn from a company who's putting on 100 new clients a month and sharing how we did it. Not only that, so the first thing that happens is a a factor of the number 5. The second thing that happens is a decision tree. Now, this is something new that we tried for the last few months, and we're going to keep doing it. There's 2 people that get to one of our sales calls. They're either hot or they're not. I don't mean like looks. I mean in terms of like warmth to purchase. If people are hot, we have the conversation with them, and our current conversion rate's around 70 to 80% of those ones. So the guys that are not, my team is instructed to not sell them. Instead, we push them back to a playlist of content that is aligned to one of their 3 main pain points that we just know because we know our avatar so well. So it goes back to this stuff, right? And the 7-Eleven 4. And like the content is designed to just give them some help, right? So it's to give them results in advance. RIA. If you can do content that gives people results in advance, then they're thinking to themselves, if I'm getting these results without even paying this company, imagine what they could do for me if I actually paid them something. That's the central premise there. So we'll notice that like people that move down to the not, but we give them the content and they binge through this, right? They will then become hot. That's kind of the idea. It's the same thing with our clients, right? If our clients have a chat to some people that aren't quite there yet, instead of just, they're bin chickens. No, instead, we get them to send through like nurture campaigns and content and just make sure that they keep posting content on their feed that gives people results in advance, which then means that they just pop back up in their sales pipeline within like a few days, if not a week. So we followed this plan over the last few months. That's been working. And this is the same plan we've taught our clients. So we wouldn't teach anything that we don't already do, right? This is the elite growth flywheel that I'm a big, this is what I teach. We'll be focusing on the content that generates the demand organically and via paid because of the content. And then when the demand comes through, we attack with speed to lead because we want to help these people. We want to help these people make the biggest impact we can. In terms of the lessons, right? The creative is the variable. The way to feed the machine is to focus on the creative and the content, okay? There's a central premise here that your media is going to help, your content's going to help more people than your service ever will. So if you lean in towards that, that's what's been helping us. The other thing too is your cash flow follows your calendar. If you told me a year ago that in a year's time, 80% of your calendar is going to look completely different, I wouldn't believe you. But Dan Martell told me that. And now when I look at my calendar, I'm either working on, as a CEO, I'm either working on the company, as in, the forecast, the vision, are we on track, are we off track, the ratios, the performance of the company, and like the cash. I'm focusing on the coaching, that's internally and externally, okay? That is leverage, that's compounding leverage. And then the third thing I'm focused on right now is content, which is what we're doing here. And if you pop up my calendar, you will see blocks of me doing those things. If you look at my P&L, you'll see where I'm investing dollars into those 3 things. Like I've got a coaching team now, like I'm investing in, advisors and like forecast and blah, blah, blah around that. And like the content side of things, like there's a team that I can, there's a team here, we're spending money on equipment, right? And also it's my time. So cash flow follows your calendar is the third thing. And so where do we get to with the numbers? So obviously we put on 100 so it was actually 104, but let's just say 100 studios in September. That's a new studio joins every 1.6 hours, working hours, right? That at the front end, that's a 4 times ROI, right? With $100,000 of ad spend in, 4 times ROI back at the front end, okay? At point of sale. At the back end, if we include some LTV, right, without getting too much into the numbers, it's generated, a 24x ROI. So I reckon that was a pretty good month. It was a pretty good month. It's the 4th month in a row where we've hit records. The failure, like what didn't work was we've come up with a smaller product that we thought we'd sell like 30 of them, and I think we might have only sold about 14 of them. Turns out selling like a bigger product takes the same amount of effort as selling a smaller product. We've got to train the team internally on identifying a different avatar for that, rather than just trying to sell avatar 1, product 2. So there's that's some training on that, which is a gap that we see. But we know that 50% of people that get to our triage phase are revenue unqualified, but they want to work with us because they love us from our content. So I want a way to help those people. So that's something we're going to focus on for October and November, is to continue to see if we can hit that, while we can see if we can bring in product number 2, product B. But anyway, so that's the September experiment. Our clients' results look similar, okay? Now, they might not be putting on 100 members a month, but they are having their best month evers, which we call BME, and their best week evers, because they are following this plan, focusing on the content that makes their ads work better. They generate the demand via organic and paid mediums. Then they focus on speed to lead, whether it be the opening chats within 5 minutes or like calling the fucking leads and following the fucking script, right? And then staying on signal with tracking this thing every single week. So I wanted to share everything with you as much as possible. Give me some feedback in the comments if this is the type of content you'd want to see from me, because I want to build in public. I want to help as many people as we can build a dream business that fuels your dream life. And the only way that I can see to do that is also have a dream team. Now, if you haven't already met me, my name is Dozer. I run the Geronimo Academy, and my only mission has been simple since I had the heart attack where I almost died, right? I had 15 minutes to live. On the back end of that, I just want to help as many people as possible, and I'm thinking 1,000 business owners build their own $1 million dream business and life they don't need to escape from. I see too many people turn up to our front door, burnt out, overworked, underpaid, and lonely as fuck. It doesn't need to be that way, okay? I will show you how to build a $1 million dream business. I've done it before, doing $1 million months at the moment. I can help you build your dream business. And I'm gonna do it all for free on YouTube. And we've already started, so I want you to watch the no BS way to grow a $1 million fitness and wellness studio. That's where I break down exactly how I'd build a $1 million studio tomorrow if I had to. My kids would kill me if I don't say this. Smash the subscribe button. Oh, God. Because we're just getting started.